जय गुरुदेव। जय गुरुदेव। आदरणीय प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर भुवनेश शर्मा जी को और आप सब लोगों को प्रणाम करती हूँ। अभी अपने वैदिक पंडित सहना भवतु से आरंभ करेंगे।
जी जय। ओ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधेतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Jai Gurudev. Now we all will do group meditation. Those who learned transcendental meditation will do transcendental meditation. And if you have not learned to meditate yet, now sit with your eyes closed and go inward. मन को अंतर्मुख करना। 10 मिनट के बाद आंखें खोलेंगे, मैं जय गुरुदेव बोलती हूँ. So now let us all begin. Close eyes, sit comfortably and begin. Jai Gurudev. Take a minute or so and slowly open the eyes. Jai Gurudev. Now, I would like to request our Pandits to begin Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, Parayana. मुकेश जी और मनीष जी और धनश्याम जी, कृपया आरंभ कीजिए।
श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् मम्बा त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवत् गीते भगवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति देव्यैस्तवैर्वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुषुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। श्रीमद्भगवद् गीता अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः। धृतराष्ट्रोवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकः पाण्डवश्चैव किं कुर्वन् सञ्जय। सञ्जय उवाच दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसङ्गम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत् पश्यैतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यमहतीं च मूम् व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमतः अत्र शूरा महेश्वासा भीमार्जुन समायुधि युधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः दृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरजित कुन्ति भोजश्च सेव्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः योधामन्युश्च विक्रान्ता उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथाः अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये तान् निबोध द्विजोत्तमा नायका मम सैन्यश्च संज्ञार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च अन्ये च बहवः शूरा मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितम् पर्याप्तं त्विदमेतेषां बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम् आयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागमवस्थिताः भीष्ममेवाभिरक्षन्तो भवन्तः सर्व एव हि तस्य संजनयन् हर्षं पुरवृद्धः पितामहः सिंहनादं विनादोच्चै संघं दधमौ प्रतापवान् तथा संघश्च वीर्यश्च पणवान् खगोमुखाः सहसैवाभ्ययन्यन्तः ससप्तस्तु मूलोऽभवत् तथा श्वेतैर्हरैर्युक्ते महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ माधवा पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदत्मतुः पाञ्चजन्यं हृषीकेशो देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः पौण्ड्रं दद्मौ महाशङ्खं भीमकर्मा वृकोदरः अनन्तविजयं राजा कुन्तीपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुलः सहदेवश्च सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ कार्यश्च परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः दृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च सात्यकिश्च पराजितः द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वशः पृथिवीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहो शङ्खं दध्मौ पृथक् पृथक् सघोषो धार्तराष्ट्राणां हृदयानि व्यदारय नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव तुमुलो व्यनुनादयन् अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यमिदमाह महीपते अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युत यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहं युद्धकामानवस्थितान् त्वैर्मया सह योद्धास्यस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे योत्समानानवेक्षेऽहं ययेतत्र समागताः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य बुद्धिर्दे युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः संजय उवाच एवमुक्तो ऋषिकेशो गुडाकेशेन भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम् भीष्मद्रोणप्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरुनिति तत्र पश्यस्थितान् पार्था पितॄन् पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखिस्तथा श्वशुरान् सुहृदश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरपि तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्टो विषीदन्यतमब्रवीत् अर्जुन उवाच दृष्ट्वेवं स्वजनं कृष्णायुक्तं समुपस्थितम् सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति वेपतश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते गाण्डीवं संसते हस्त्वा त्वच्चैव परिदह्यते न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव न च श्रेयोनुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे नाकाङ्क्षे विजयं कृष्ण न च राज्यं सुखानि च किं नु राज्येन गोविन्द किं भोजैर्जीवितेन वा एषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नो राज्यं भोगः सुखानि च तहिमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणास्त्यक्त्वा धनानि च आचार्याः पितरः पुत्रास्तथैव च पितामहाः मातुलाः श्वशुराः पौत्राः श्यालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तदा एतान् न हन्तुमिच्छामि घ्नतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यश्च हेतो किं नु मही कृते निहत्यधार्तराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीतिः स्यात् जनार्दन पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान् हत्वैतानाततायिना तस्मान्नार्हा वयं हन्तुं धार्तराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान् स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा सुखिना स्याम माधव यद्यप्येतेन पश्यन्ति लोभोपात चेतसः कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम् कथं न गेयमस्माभिः पापादस्मान् निवर्ततुम् कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति कुलधर्मः सनातनः धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृष्णामधर्मो विभवत्युत अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्णा प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः श्रेष्ठोऽस्तासु वर्षेण जायते वर्णसङ्करः संकरो नरकायैव कुलज्ञानां कुलस्य च पतन्ति पितरो येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियाः दोषैरेतैः कुलज्ञानां वर्णसङ्करकारकैः उत्साद्यन्ते जातिधर्मः कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवति जनुषुष्वमा अहो महत् महत् पापं कर्तुं व्यसिता वयम् यत्राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः यदि मामकतीकारा शस्त्रं शस्त्रपाणयः धार्तराष्ट्रान् रणे हन्युस्तन्मे क्षेमतरं भवेत् संजय उवाच एवमुक्त्वार्जुनः संख्ये रथोपस्थ उपाविशत् विसृज्य ससरं चापं शोकसंविघ्नमानसः ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे अर्जुन विषाद योगो नाम प्रथमोऽध्यायः श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु ॐ
Jai Gurudev. Dhanyavad. Now we will begin Gita study of shlokas 2 to 7. These are quite simple and straightforward. But before we begin, I would like to recap the first shloka and what dharma is. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kimakurvata sanjaya. Dharma word is the first word of Bhagavad Gita, and it comes many times in Gita. And Maharishi ji had explained very beautifully all the points about dharma. And we discussed that in detail in our last session. But because dharma is so important to understand, I will recap now again. Pooja, are you able to display my main points of dharma? Sachin? Sachin? Pooja?
I just asked Sachin to make me co-host so I can share.
Oh, okay. So while they are doing it, I will begin. The first point about dharma is that invincible power of nature, which is the basis of existence, which is the basis of everything in life. It maintains and supports evolution. So the next point comes, what is evolution? Evolution means growing from a lower state to a higher state. And this process of evolution is carried out with two opposing forces, creative and destructive forces. So when these two opposing forces, creative and destructive forces, work in harmony with each other, there is righteousness. And man has freedom of action. And so he can support creative forces or destructive forces. When one chooses a dharmic act, when you do dharmic actions, these result in good. And if you choose adharma, that will result in evil. As one behaves, so one receives. So doing good, you following your dharma, results in happiness in life. And if you choose adharma, one gets bad results and there can be suffering in life. Life is what we want it to be, either suffering or joy. We always have a choice. As you sow, so shall you reap. So if you do good karma comes back to you. And if you do bad karma, then bad results will come back, and that results in suffering. And this is true on the level of the individual. And Dharma promotes worldly prosperity and spiritual progress, both at the same time. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Some of you probably heard it before. So that's on the individual level. Now, on the level of society or on a national level, when negative forces increase, it leads to destruction in life, suffering, war, etc. And with increase in positive forces, there is increase in happiness. So as we have read in the last session, the two armies of Kauravas and Pandavas represent negative and positive forces in the field of Dharma. So that is about Dharma, the main points. And now we will continue with the second shloka. Pooja, are you able to display? I will recite the shloka and then read the English commentary, and then Aneetaji will read the English commentary. Sanjaya uvacha दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकम् व्यूढम् दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसङ्गम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत् संजय उवाच दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकम् व्यूढम् दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसङ्गम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्. Sanjaya said, then Duryodhana, the prince, seeing the army of the Pandavas drawn up in battle array, approached his master and spoke these words. Aneetaji, you read English translation, please. Sachin, is there any problem with Aneetaji when you are reading? She's already co-host. Sachin.
Jai Gurudev, can you hear me, Hema-ji?
Go ahead. Aneetaji, you may start.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Master is one who understands the meaning of the scriptures, teaches it to others, and practices the teaching himself. The master here is Dronacharya, who had taught the art of war to both Kauravas and Pandavas. It is a crucial moment, so it is natural for Duryodhan to approach his master, Dronacharya, for blessings and strength.
Okay. Pooja, are you able to display the scientific research on this shloka? Unmute, please, and let me know.
Yes, ma'am, it's showing. Is it not showing on your screen?
Oh, okay. Yeah. The scientific research on this shloka, it is said that Duryodhana, quote, approached, end of quote, his master. This is verified by scientific research, which shows that there is growth in self-actualization as indicated by greater respect for the views of others, improved ability to appreciate others, and greater open-mindedness. Now I would like to request Dr. Sharma ji to please comment. And then we open up for any questions or appealing points. Sharma ji, please go ahead.
Yes, Jai Gurudev. Actually, there is not much to explain. Basically, as you have already mentioned, both the forces are opposing each other, and Duryodhan is just gaining strength just by addressing his master. And the main point which is mentioned here is that the master has not only to be the master of the knowledge, but and able to come to teach it, but also one has to imbibe and use that knowledge for himself. That is the most important point, I think. And basically, when the questions come, then we can discuss.
Okay. Any comments, any questions or on the second shloka or the first shloka where we have reviewed what dharma is? So and if anyone has any comments, please unmute and you can ask now.
Jai Gurudev, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm Madhavi Satish from Maharishi Vidya Mandir, Hyderabad.
Jai Gurudev Madhavi, go ahead.
I just would like to emphasize on the word dharma. Now, as far as Gita is concerned, we know Arjuna is perplexed by war. So he is asking what is his dharma, what is his action to be done. At the same time, coming to this, can we check the difference in the attitude or approach? Arjuna has also seen the armies and Duryodhana has also seen the armies. But Arjuna is questioning about dharma, whereas Duryodhana is thinking about how to win the war. So maybe the difference in the attitudes and perceptions of these two characters, can we understand it in that sense?
Yes, a very good point, Madhavi. This comes up in later shlokas also. Maharishi gave beautiful commentary about Arjuna's attitude and Duryodhana's attitude, how they are both looking at the same situation. And so we will discuss about this down the road. And it's a very good point to be brought up even at the beginning. And it's obvious that Duryodhana is all the time thinking about winning. And as we see, later, Arjuna is always concerned about doing the right action and what my dharma is, what is right. He wants to do the right thing. Sharmaji, would you like to address Madhavi's issue?
Yes, basically, I will say that the attitude depends on the consciousness. And then the intellect also is according to the consciousness. So basically, the attitude of Duryodhan is representing adharma, and the attitude of Arjun is we can say, based on dharma. So dharma and adharma, they are actually, what happens is, it is said that bhalehu poch sab hari upjaye. Matlab, the God has made someone to be right and someone to be wrong. There has to be two forces, then only the creation can emerge. And once Maharishi explained that the negative has to be the extreme negative, and the positive has to be extreme positive. So both the forces, and what happens is, if we can say, if they are in balance, then the dharma is maintained. If they are not in balance, then the other, we can say, problem or suffering comes. So here, this is the situation that both are representing extreme dharma and extreme adharma. So actually, very rightly, Dr. Hemaji said that in Maharishi's commentary is so complete that all those things will come later on. Basically, in these 6 shlokas, it is the most important thing is if you watch or listen the words, because the name has form contained in it. So the name of the people and even the conches they will be blowing, the name has that form. So that sound, we can say, transforms the consciousness. So we have just to listen it, and we have to even transcend intellect. We just enjoy Maharishi's commentary and Bhagavad Gita shlokas. So this is my comment.
Sharmaji, you brought up such a beautiful point that attitude depends on the level of consciousness. I'm so happy you brought it up, because everything boils down to the consciousness. So when a level of consciousness is higher, then we use our intellect and our attitude changes, and we are moving towards progress. And this point also again brought up, in the shlokas following. That is very good. And I was going to say something else, I forgot, but it will come back if it's important. So now shall we move on to the next shloka, shloka number 3. Sridana, unmute, please.
Jai Guru.
Yes. Oh, yes. I know what I was going to say. I remember now. If you all noticed, I read the Sanskrit shloka 2 times and English shloka 1 time. And this is according to Maharishi's guidelines. First, we read the shloka normal. And second time, when I read, I paused after each pada. Then that is giving us time for the shloka and the Sanskrit vibration to sink into our awareness. And just now, Sharmaji said how, name and form, and, we pay attention when we are listening to the Vedic chanting. And that is the reason why, I pause after each pada the second time. And also, when we read in English, we pause after each phrase so that the meaning is sinking into our awareness. Sridana, go ahead, please. So in Sanskrita 2 times, English 1 time. Okay, go ahead.
Jai Gurudev. Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudam Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudam Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. Behold, O Master, this great army of the sons of Pandu, arrayed by your wise pupil, the son of Drupada. Shall I continue that English commentary, Hemaji?
Yes, please go ahead.
The son of Drupada, Drishtadyumna, is the commander-in-chief of the Pandavas' army. Duryodhana points out to his master that the opposing army is certainly large and powerful, but that this does not matter because his own army is graced by the master, while the other is supported only by the disciple. Although wise, he remains, after all, a disciple, and since he is so ready to fight against his master, his morale will be weak and his strength will fail him. At the same time, by saying, "Your wise pupil," Duryodhana creates an effect to excite the master's mind against the disciple who has organized the front against him. Jai Gurudev.
The scientific research of this verse increased self-development, growth of wisdom through Maharishi Transcendental Meditation and TM Siddhi program. It relates to increased field independence, indicating broader comprehension and increased ability to focus attention, increased integration of brain functioning, and improved cognitive flexibility. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you, Aneetaji. This is also another pretty simple and straightforward shloka, easy to understand. What Duryodhana is doing is, he's saying to Dronacharya, his guru, that he is the master and also leader of the Kaurava army. Whereas the other army, that is Pandava's army, is headed only by Dronacharya's disciple. So, and we continue, he continues, with that. So it's pretty simple. Any questions or any other points anybody would like to bring up? Okay, so now we move on to the next shloka, fourth shloka. I will read in Sanskrita. Atra shura maheshvasa bhimarjuna samayudhi yuyudhano viratascha drupadascha maharatha. Atra shura maheshvasa Bhimarjuna samayudhi yuyudhano viratascha drupadascha maharatha. Here are men of valor, mighty archers, the equals of Bhima and Arjuna in battle. Yuyudhana, Virata, and Drupada the Maharathi.
Bhima,
Go ahead, please. Aneetaji, go ahead.
Bhima is the second son of Pandu, the mightiest warrior of the Pandavas, Sami, and virtually in control of it. Even though the office of commander-in-chief is held by Drishtadyumna, Arjuna, the hero of Mahabharata, is the third son of Pandu. He is the greatest archer of his time and a close friend of Shri Krishna Bhagwan. Maharathi means a great warrior proficient in military science, who single-handed can fight 10,000 archers. Duryodhana is Shri Krishna Bhagwan's charioteer, also called Satyaki. Virata is the prince in whose territory the Pandavas lived for some time in disguise after losing a dice match with Duryodhana. Jagute?
This verse had been verified by scientific research, and they chose the word valor. After 1 month of practice of Maharishi's transcendental meditation program, individuals developed a much more strongly defined sense of self-concept in comparison to matched controls. They also reported that their actual self was closer to their, quote, ideal self. Now I would like to request Sharmaji to comment, please.
It is again, we can say that Duryodhana is judging the strength of both the sides. And here in this, he is judging the strength of the Pandavas and mentioning that they are the Maharathis like Bhima and Arjun and Yudhana and Virata. And Maharathi, Maharishi has explained that anyone who can fight with 10,000 warriors at one time, single-handedly. So this is the definition of Maharathi. And basically, he is ultimately in the next verses, he will find that he is feeling that his strength is more than the strength of the Pandavas. That is what basically it is. And it is so nice that you are correlating the scientific research, because the scientific research is validating that we have the self-concept if we are practicing transcendental meditation. So I think we just continue with this. In case some questions come, then we can discuss this.
Yeah. Any questions or comments? Go ahead, please.
Jai Gurudev, ma'am.
Jai
As Bhunesh ji was just saying us, maybe we can like to quote one of the 16 principles of Maharishi ji, that outer depends on the inner. So Duryodhana's inner feeling is basically to win the war. In these verses, he approaching his master, can we think that, he is trying to instigate, or he's trying to bring in the flame, because Drishtadhyumna, as per the scripture, he was born of the sacrificial fire, and with the boon to kill Drona himself. And he was also a disciple of Drona. So maybe he is just reminding Dronacharya that let him not be compromising on the battlefield, because the opposition is nothing but his own disciples, and Arjuna his favorite disciple.
Yes.
So
not only Drishtadhyumna, Pandavas also are in the opposite army. And Duryodhana knows very well that Dronacharya always liked Pandavas. Even though all the disciples were learning archery from him, he liked Pandavas. And Duryodhana knows that. And so he keeps reminding, his Guru Dronacharya about his duty, that he should protect Duryodhana's army. Good. Sharmaji, would you like to add anything to Madhavi's point? Madhavi is bringing up very nice points. This is
yes,
also
because it is so fortunate that all our teachers and principals, they have done consciousness-based education courses, and
yes.
Maharishi's principles of science of creative intelligence are such that it can always be correlated. Maharishi already has said that the whole thing can be viewed from 6 systems of Indian philosophy. So intellectually, while discussing, one can think of many analogies, we can say, and say that basically his inner feeling is expressed outside. That is nice.
Yes. Yes, that's very nice point. Every time, every chance we have, we bring these points out and reinforce them, because repetition is quite okay. And I liked what you said, like Sharmaji pointed out, outer depends on inner. What's inside comes out. So again, that depends on the level of consciousness also. The higher the level of consciousness, the better is the behavior. So that's nice, Madhavi. You brought out the important principle of outer depends on inner. Okay, so now we will move on to the next shloka, and that is shloka number 5. Sridana, 5th shloka, please.
Yeah. Jai Gurudev. दृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित्कुन्तिभोजश्च शैब्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः दृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित्कुन्तिभोजश्च शैब्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः दृष्टकेतु Chekitana and the valiant king of Kashi, also Purujit, Kunti Boja and Saibya, chief among men. Drishtaketu is the king of the Chedis. Chekitana is a famous warrior in the army of the Pandavas. Purujit and Kunti Boja are two brothers. Shaibya is the king of the Shibi tribe. Jai Gurudev.
This verse is verified by scientific research. Increase self-actualization through Maharishi transcendental meditation, increase self-confidence and self-assuredness, enhanced self-concept, increase emotional stability and maturity, increase self-reliance, increase self-discipline, greater self-control, decrease nervousness. Jai Gurudev.
So again, this shloka is also quite simple, and all the names are mentioned. And Sharma ji brought out a very nice point about name and form, and all that. And so I don't have anything to add. Sharma ji, do you have any comment to make?
No, I think it is very simple. Basically,
Yeah.
these are the names, and every name has its own, we can say, vibration, and we just feel the vibration. And these are the people representing in the Pandavas army. So these names actually are representing the dharma, I will say.
Yeah. Any questions or any comments from the audience? Please go ahead. Okay. Now we, Sachin, keep checking for any questions from Ramraj TV also, and then post them to me, please. Okay. So now we move on to the next shloka. That is shloka number 6. Yudha manyuscha vikranta uttamaujascha viryavan saubhadro draupadeyascha sarva eva maharathaah. Yudha manyuscha vikranta uttamaujascha viryavan Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva eva Maharathaha. Drishtadyumna, the brave. The valiant Uttamauja. Also the son of Subhadra. And the sons of Draupadi, all of them Maharathis.
Duryodhana seems to accomplish several aims in naming these great warriors in the opposing army. It strengthens his own mind, awakens a deep sense of responsibility in the mind of his master, and produces alertness in all those who are listening to him. Having created these effects, this atmosphere, Duryodhana in the following verse draws the attention of his master to the great heroes of his own army. Chegudev.
Okay, now the scientific research on this shloka, scientific research, it is verified with regards to the quality of brave. Before we saw valiant and valor and those. Now brave is addressed. And it shows that students who learned transcendental meditation program showed increased self-esteem, and then they become aware of their inner strength, and then they become brave. So that is the scientific validation. Sharma ji, please comment.
So actually, it is the same point that he is mentioning. Basically, he is strengthening his own mind and alerting also the master and all those others who are listening, so that they know the strength of the other opposite party. So it is actually strengthening himself and strengthening his, we can say, the other warriors on his side. Basically, it is just this. Maybe not much to explain somehow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody wants to come up with any main points or appealing points or any questions?
Can we relate this with Maharishi's principle of life is found in layers, or the knowledge is structured in consciousness? Because Duryodhana is now, after naming all the barriers on the other side, who is slowly trying to gain the confidence, assessing the strengths of both the armies. So one level after the other level of people he's trying to find out. Can we relate it with the life is found in layers?
Sharma ji?
It is not that close, but still we can say, because intellectually one can say that every warrior is like a layer, and then we can say that there are Maharathis, and so he is judging the warriors on the other side, and now in the next verse he is going to judge the warriors on his own side. So we can say that it is in layers, we can say, but I will say it is not that much directly correlated. There are many points, maybe some other SCI principle can be more, we can say, better, but doesn't matter. Everyone thinks one whose own way. It is good. Yes.
Chegudev.
Yeah,
My appealing point in this, I think Duryodhana knows that he is not doing right. So that's why for gaining strength for the wrong, he needs these names to recall in his mind. Because when you are doing right, you just need God and you can go forward.
Actually, from the angle of Duryodhan, he thinks that he is right for winning his purpose. If he thinks he is wrong, then he will not fight. I will say like that. The whole consciousness is like that, that he is thinking that I am doing right, and this is my right to have, we can say, the kingdom with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duryodhana always knew that he is not right, but his greed was overtaking. And so at every step, he is reminding his guru, Dronacharya, look, this Maharathi is there, that Maharathi is there. They are all strong people. But he knows that his guru, Dronacharya, is also very strong. So this way, he is reassuring himself that he is strong and he has a strong guru on his side. And he reiterates same thing a few times, reminding himself and his guru. And he's reassuring, both of them. That's how I look at it.
Actually, Duryodhan was knowing everything. At one place it is said that Duryodhan says, Janami dharmam. I know the dharma and I know the adharma. But somehow someone placed in myself always prompt me to take the side of adharma.
Yeah, he's making excuses, blaming it on other people. And so this brings us back to the same point where, see, Duryodhana has this conflict. He knows it's not right, what he's doing is not right, but he's overcome by the quote unquote bad qualities, say, for example, greed. So he's not able to deal with it. So he goes with his greed. And so he wants the kingdom at any cost. He doesn't care to go for war and kill everybody, but he wants his kingdom. And so that's why the knowledge in Gita is so helpful for us, that whenever a person is involved in a situation of where you don't know what to do, you seek refuge in Sri Krishna Bhagwan. You read Gita and you find answers. And at the same time, we practice transcendental meditation program. And then we find that we are gradually growing in higher levels of consciousness. So both these put together, we have all the answers right here in Gita and from our meditation and listening to Maharishi's lectures. So any difficult situation in life or even day-to-day activities, we constantly get the guidance from Bhagavad Gita.
Because it is called pravritti. In Hindi, we call it pravritti. Means the tendency is like that. One can't help, because the whole nervous system and consciousness is like that. So the pravritti or the tendency becomes
Right.
like that. Yes.
Right. And again, Sharmaji brought up a beautiful point of pravritti, the behavior. Sometimes they cannot resist it. And this depends on the three gunas. And we are going to study that in the next chapter, second chapter. There is extensive write-up about gunas and the role they play in our behavior and how to balance the gunas so that, we display good behavior when we develop, sattva like that. So we get into the details in the next chapter. So, Sridana, go ahead.
Hemaji, here can we say that Duryodhana is extremely on the adharmic side? That's he was unable to balance between that. He was unable to understand the dharma. What is dharma? This thing. Previously, Sharmaji said that extreme adharma and extreme dharma is required. So in between, how to balance that is for the prakriti.
Right. Yes, he is on the adharma side. Yes.
And
That's
Hema-read M has to change the pravritti also, no?
Yes, definitely. Pravritti, the behavior depends on the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. And how your behavior is, it depends on what doshas are predominating. And that's why it's important to balance the doshas and develop sattva guna. जब सतोगुण बढ़ जाता है तो शुभ होता है, There's purity in life, and all good qualities increase with increase in tattva. And we get into the detailed discussion of this in the next chapter.
Jai Gurudev, ma'am. I have a clarification, ma'am.
Yes.
Is there a sense of worry and fear in Duryodhana when he sees the army of the Pandavas in battle array? So is that why, along with motivating his master and his army men, he's trying to even motivate himself that he will emerge victorious? Is there a fear in him upon seeing the strength of Pandavas?
I think so. I think he also had fear, but he's covering it up. Is that right, Sharmaji?
I will say certainly, because the darkness is always weak and brightness is always light. But still, it in somewhere he is also confident. Otherwise, he will not fight. So on one hand, he is confident, but on the otherwise there is some, we can say, some light, we can say, tinge of fear also. And actually, it is also his duty to make the warriors aware of the strength of the other party, so that they really are ready. So there are many, we can say, explanations one can give. That is why he is stating like that. So many things are involved, I would say. Yes.
So
Thank you.
I would say that there is underlying fear. It's not obvious on the surface, but inside deep somewhere he has that fear, but he wants to show off like he's a brave man, he's strong, he's going to win like that. But that fear is underneath. It's not obvious on the surface. I hear some other voice. Somebody else wanted to say.
Yes, ma'am. Rajan here.
Rajesh?
Ma'am. Rajan. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. So I just wanted to add something here. So Duryodhana was in the place of king, so he should not be overconfident. Even though he had a larger army, still he should not be overconfident about anything. The king should be practical by seeing the opposing army. As per that, his plan should go on. So what I feel is a king should be like this. The way Duryodhana is behaving here, how by observing the opposite army without being overconfident, seeing the warriors there, seeing the great heroes there, accordingly, if we plan only, we'll be able to win the war. So this gives a great message to each and every king of our history also, who could read Bhagavad Gita and follow that. Like a king should not be overconfident. How much ever bigger army he has also. Should always understand what types of, like, in which way the plan is going on in the opposite army, which heroes are there, how are they, what is the strength. So thinking those all things, keeping those all things in the mind, if we go ahead only, it will be better. Then we may definitely be victorious there. So simply we can't just depend blindly on the army and be overconfident. So such great quality I can learn from Duryodhana here as a king. That's what I understand here. Thank you, ma'am.
It's true that he is overconfident, and it is showing also. And,
no, I'm not saying, I'm saying he's not overconfident. He's not overconfident. He's confident and he is practical also. Practically, he's stepping here by seeing the opposite army.
Okay.
Overconfidence will not let him see the opposite army. He'll just go ahead like that to fight. But confidence will make him think what is happening in the opposite army and how I have to be, how strong I have to be here, and I should do. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. It's a good quality in a king to know what he is faced with, what is the situation.
Exactly.
So he is evaluating the whole situation. So who is on my side, who is on the other side, so that then he can make a strategy, for war. So that's what Duryodhana is doing. Sharmaji, please go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that it is the quality of the king that he should really compare and see what is the strength of the other party and what is the strength of our own party, and then only one can fight. So he is doing his duty as a king, I will say. Yes.
Okay. And that's what Rajan is saying.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Now we will move on to the last shloka for today's discussion. That is shloka number 7. Sridana, you want to do that?
Yes, Jai Gurudev. Yes, Shemaji.
Go ahead.
Asmakam tu vishishtaye tani bodhat vijottama nayaka mama sainyasya sangyartam tan bravimite. Asmakam tu vishishtaye tani bodhat vijottama nayaka mama sainyasya sangyartam tan bravimite. Know well, O noblest of the twice born, those who are preeminent among us, I speak to you of the leaders of my army, that you may know them. Twice born is a term that Duryodhana uses in addressing his master, Dronacharya. This is to flatter him, that at the same time to arouse in him a sense of responsibility, so that he shall remain true to the cause that he has undertaken. The term twice born is generally used for one born in a Brahmin family, although other castes are also eligible for the ceremony of purification according to Vedic rites. A Brahmin is said to be twice born because after his birth, when he is about 8 years old, he undergoes a Vedic ceremony of purification, and this qualifies him for the study of the Vedas, the main functions of a Brahmin. Thus, the ceremony is referred to as the second birth. This second birth is important in life because it gives a man born of flesh entry into the field of spirit. This is the main purpose of the study of the Vedas, which opens the door to the inner kingdom of man and enables him to see the light of God. By recalling to his master the names of the heroes of his army, Duryodhana reviews his own strength and creates an awareness of the mighty power which belongs to him and to everyone who is there to support him. Jai Gurudev.
This verse 7, verified by scientific research through Maharishi Transcendental Meditation, relates to holistic improvement in intellectual performance, increase orderliness of brain functioning, increase integration of brain functioning, and enhanced creativity. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. I requested Girish Verma-ji to make time for our Gita Satsang and comment on this. Do you see him? Sachin? Is Girish Verma-ji connected? Maybe not. I don't see him. So, Sharma-ji, please comment.
Okay, yes, here actually Duryodhan has completely seen the army of Pandavas, and now he is mentioning of his own army, and basically because he is addressing Dronacharya, and for him Maharishi has emphasized that he has used the word twice born, and twice born here is in two sense. One is, I will say, that at the age of 8 years, one is having the experience of samadhi, and samadhi is called like a death, because the body is completely still and the mind is also still. The awareness is unbounded, but stillness is there. And so the diksha or the diksha ceremony, it is such that as if the person is born again, that is really awakened again. He gains that, we can say, experience of transcendental consciousness, and that is why he has used the term. And then Dijottam means out of all the twice borns, he is, we can say, is at the top. So we will be covering all these points about the Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, because it depends on the quality of the nervous system. And Maharishi has, in his commentary, explained very scientifically how the 4 castes are there. But here, just to mention, it is only that the experience of transcendental consciousness, that is one level, and the other level is that the whole purification is done of the nervous system at every level, not only the level of consciousness, but also physically. The thread ceremony is there, Yagyopavit Sanskar is there, so that the purification is at all the level, at Adhyatmic level, at Adidevic level, and Adibhautik level. At all the levels, the purification is there. And then one gains, actually at some places it says that Digbalam, Kshatriya Balam, Brahma Tej Balam Balam, means even the strength of the Kshatriyas is less than the strength of the Brahmanas, because they learn the Vedas, and Vedas are the blueprint of the whole creation. So we will say that they hold more, we can say, strength in their consciousness. That is what actually he is saying, and he is mentioning about his own strength.
Sharmaji, can I add here?
Yes, why not? You are welcome. You are welcome. Yes.
Over here, when you say about these rites and ceremonies and how these Brahmins are performing, so here the scientific research is very clear that when we go into the study or listening of the Veda mantra, then there is more orderliness of the brain functioning. And
that is why, yes, that is why they have mentioned, yes. That is why they have correlated the scientific research. Yes.
Right. So the 7th verse has a lot to talk about, and listening to the Vedic mantras. And that's how we do in our Maharishi organization. And that helps us in the integration of the brain functioning and, of course, enhance creativity. So it also shows the importance of the Vedic scriptures and Vedic listening. Thank you, Jai Gurudev.
I really admire how you brought up this point, Aneetaji. When Sharmaji mentioned that this is Brahman and Dvijottama, where his strength is coming from, you both mentioned that. One is from transcending, Sharmaji mentioned, and the other point you mentioned is from listening to the Vedic chanting. That gives the inner strength, that causes for a rise in consciousness, which makes the strength of a Brahmana who is an enlightened Brahmana, the strength of the enlightened Brahmana. Now, we all are aware of the story in our Puranas, how there was a conflict between Vishwamitra and Vasishtha. Vishwamitra was a king, Kshatriya. Vasishtha is a Brahman and enlightened sage. And so when Vishwamitra visits Vasishtha's ashram, there are so many people, but without any problem, Vasishtha ji was able to provide a feast for all his guests. So Vishwamitra becomes very surprised. He says, how did you do this? You are leading such a simple life and you don't seem to have any servants or anything. So he said, I have Kamadhenu. So Kamadhenu gives whatever I ask for. And so Vishwamitra says, oh, I am the king. I should have Kamadhenu. And then he demands. But then, to make the long story short, Vasishtha ji wins with his tapobalam. And I will stop here. I think I gave you the gist of the story, that Brahmana Balam, the Tapo Balam, is superior to Kshatriya Balam, which is, which comes from strong body and learning archery and all that. So I want to stop here. If anybody has any appealing points or questions, please ask now. Otherwise, we will conclude. Okay, very good. So I have a couple of announcements to make, and that is, I would like to request all of you who are participating regularly to buy Maharishi book. And as we are reading, you underline your main points or appealing points. Next time when you read Gita, you will realize how much you have grown, and you will be able to understand the deeper meaning of the commentary that you're reading also. So Sachin, I would like you to please post the telephone numbers of the bookshops where they can buy Maharishi commentary, please. Like last time, Pooja, if you have, you also please display them one more time. So that's one announcement about buying your books, and be ready with the book and pencil for this Gita sessions. Also, Sachin, please check if there are any questions on Ramraj TV, please. And the other announcement I would like to make is Gita Jayanti is coming. So we are celebrating on a large scale. In the last 2 years, we had a Gita Satsang. We just ended a couple of weeks ago. In that group, we are a small group, but we have a very beautiful group. We are celebrating Gita Jayanti. We are reciting all 18 chapters of Gita. All our students are participating. And we have 10 children also, students from ages 10 to 16 who will be reciting. So I would like to welcome all of you to attend. And also, I'm trying to arrange a Gita Jayanti program for our Ramraj TV. As soon as I work out the details, I will inform you all. And if there is anybody in the audience that is very proficient in Gita recitation, you please put your name and telephone number in the chat box, and we will contact you. And we are looking for people to recite Gita, but only one condition, and that is your pronunciation should be perfect and fully correct pronunciation, because Maharishi gave a lot of importance to correct pronunciation. That is the only requirement. So if anybody is interested in participating in Gita Jayanti or reciting Gita for our session, every Sunday session, please let me know. Yeah, Rajan, put your number. Yeah, I already have your number, Rajan. I will be in touch with you and others in your group.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So, Sharma ji, do you have anything else to say? Otherwise, we are going to celebrate Aneetaji's birthday today. We are going to sing the Sanskrit.
Okay. I think that is the best thing to listen, and we congratulate and say best wishes to Aneetaji, and we can listen to the Sanskrit wishes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Maharishi.
Yeah, Sridana, please sing Janmadinamidam, and then I will read the meaning in English after you.
Janmadinamidam, I priya sake. Janmadinamidam, I priya sake. Shantanotu te sarvadamudam. Shantanotu te sarvadamudam. Prarthayamahe Bhavashadayushi. Prarthayamahe Bhavashadayushi. Ishvara sada tvam cha rakshatu. Ishvara sada tvam cha rakshatu. Punyakarmana Kirtimarjaya. Punyakarmana Kirtimarjaya. Jivanam tava bhavatu sartakam. जीवनं तव भवतु सार्थकम् भवतु सार्थकम् भवतु सार्थकम्.
The meaning of this is, oh dear friend Aneetaji, may this birthday bring you auspiciousness and joy forever. Indeed, we all pray for your long life. May the Lord always protect you. By noble deeds, may you attain fame and may your life be fulfilled. So happy birthday to Aneetaji. We are really very, very
Thank you so
happy to have you in our group. She is such a blessed soul. I have known her for the last 2 years, and I completely admire her complete devotion to Maharishi's knowledge, to Maharishi's programs. She built a TM center, and she's running programs in the center. And her knowledge level is so high, as you all can see. You know, she's contributing to our Gita, Satsang, Gita Charcha, and we are very, very happy to have you. And I wish you, on the behalf of all our students that are in this Satsang, I wish you a very happy birthday. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you so much, everyone. You made me so happy and joyful. And I also reciprocate my feelings so overwhelmingly, because made me feel so much part of all of you. And thank you very much. And I've been so closely associated with Bhuvneshri. So I think I need not say anything, just that I tell him, thank you so much for your wishes, and Jai Gurudev, and thanks to everyone. Jai Gurudev, Jai
Actually,
Maharishi.
one thing I would like to add, which I like mostly in our, we can say, our Maharishi's Western disciples, they have made like happy CC, happy GC, happy UC to you. So that thing I like, that can be translated in Sanskrit also, because then it gives, we can say, more added joy to have be connected with Maharishi's knowledge. So we wish you a
Sharmaji, you remember we always sang
yes, yes, yes,
Happy
yes. That is why I am
and
mentioning this.
always.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
That is why I'm mentioning.
Actually, I have not sung that for Hemaji. I will sing for her sometimes, and then she will realize that how we in National Office celebrate our birthdays, and with the Guru Puja and singing Happy CC, Happy GC, and Happy UC. And this is all,
Pooja, I think,
everything.
yeah, Pooja sings this song, Happy. Then I will request, I will try to find out if somebody can translate this into Sanskrita. Maybe Rajan can do that. He's doing PhD now. So I'll talk to him about it later. Somehow or the other, we will sing into Sanskrita. But for now, Pooja, please sing the Happy CCGCUC song also, because Aneetaji likes it so much. I heard it many times, but I like Sanskritam better. So I told her to
Yes,
sing Sanskritam.
because
Pooja, go ahead,
Hemaji, we
please.
always sang. It's all right.
Yes.
It's all
Okay.
right.
No,
You
no.
Pooja
She's,
sing.
Pooja,
Otherwise, I'll sing next time.
yes. Pooja, go ahead.
Everyone. Yeah, this is my pleasure to sing for Aneetaji. Happy birthday, Aneetaji.
Thank you, Pooja.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy CC, happy GC. Happy unity through you. Through you, heaven on earth for all. Through you, heaven on earth for all. Happy birthday, Aneetaji. Jai
Thank you
Gurudev.
so much, Pooja. Thank you so much.
Yes. And she is really doing a good job of bringing heaven on earth for all around her,
Thank you.
for India.
I
And
I wonder I deserve all that,
yes,
Hemaji, but
you
thank
do.
you so much.
Definitely do. Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Okay.
Jai
Thank you all.
Gurudev.
All of you come on. All of you can come on video now. You all can say Jai Gurudev to Maharishi ji, and then we can end the meeting. We will meet again next Sunday, same time. Thank you all for joining and for your contribution. It was a really beautiful session. I enjoyed very much. Hope all of you also enjoyed. So all can come on cameras now, and then we'll say Jai Gurudev and sign off. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev.
Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, ma'am.
Jai Gurudev. Nice to see all smiling faces.
Jai Gurudev.
Okay. Sachin, you can end. Oh, sorry, forgot. With birthday, I got distracted. We need to do mala. Mukesh ji, can you do mala of the shlokas 8 and 9? Otherwise, I will do. I forgot to tell you ahead of time. Mukesh ji, can you do or shall I do it? Yeah, are you doing? 8 and 9. Go ahead.
भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च सोमदत्तिस्तथैव च अन्ये च बहवः शूरा मदर्थे चक्रजीविता नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणा सर्वे युद्धविशारदः
Thyself and Bhishma and Karna and Kripa, victor in battle, Ashwathama and Vikarna, and also the son of Somadatta. And many other heroes are there, armed with various weapons, all skilled in warfare, who have risked their lives for me. So this way, we maintain continuity with our Gita Satsang. These are the shlokas we are going to discuss next week, starting from shloka number 8, and I will send the schedule also. And now we will end with Shanti Path. Mukeshji, Manishji, and Ghanshamji, Shanti Path, Mangalam. Please.
शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः
शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वगुं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः क्षमा शान्तिरेधि
जतो यतः
समीह चेततो नो अभयं कुरु सन्नः कुरु पराजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः ॐ
शान्ति शान्ति
शान्ति
जय गुरुदेव
Jai Gurudev.
जय गुरुदेव मैम
Jai Gurudev. Do you want to say something? Okay. So Sachin, you may end the meeting now. Jai Gurudev to all. Meet you next Sunday. Jai Gurudev.
जय गुरुदेव